Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of the Vibecast. This is episode number 5 for me. Today we're going to be diving pretty deep into some good topics, probably some very informative topics for some people. I want to dive deep into PC gaming, PC building, and the current state of right now to build a PC and enter PC gaming, because if you're an outsider and looking to do it, it's very difficult with the price gouging of GPUs right now, the no supply of GPUs right now. And realistically, like I said, the price gouging, the resell that people are charging for these GPUs are just insanely through the roof. And unless you're looking to spend just an absurd amount of money for parts that aren't even supposed to be anywhere near that price point, it's the only way to build a PC, unfortunately. We're going to dive into details why. We're going to go over some parts and things like that of what I mean, and I'll show you guys everything as far as that aspect goes. But I wanted to dive into that a little bit. Like I said, it's going to be about building PCs, and it's also going to be about, switching from console to PC, the benefits, my experience with it, doing it 4 years ago, switching to PC 5 years ago, somewhere around that time frame. I don't really remember. And then I also kind of want to dive a little bit deep into car culture and the car scene. And wherever that leads, we'll get into that. We're going to go over some of my builds and cars that I've owned. And then I kind of just want to touch base on some car events that I've gone to, how the car events have changed in the car culture over the last few years. And I think it could be very interesting, and I'm sure I have a lot of followers on social media that are big car people. Most of my friends, closest friends of mine, are met through cars, so I think this will be pretty good for a lot of those people too. But yeah, back with another episode. Last episode I did was with Jesse, my buddy Jesse, and it was a super good episode. I think a lot of you guys enjoyed it. I got a lot of nice feedback from it, and it was just a really nice podcast. Just sit down with my buddy and just kind of chat about just random stuff. That was just a podcast that really wasn't too much scheduled stuff. It just kind of went with the flow, and honestly, I like those podcasts a lot. It's just nice not to have a set schedule of everything that I want to touch on. It's nice to just sit down with somebody and just kind of just literally just go with the flow, and just conversations lead to different conversations. So that was a really nice one. Thanks, Jesse, for being on. I'm sure we're going to do it again sometime soon. And as always, guys, I say it in almost every podcast, reach out if you'd be interested in being on a podcast. I mean, everybody's got interesting stuff to talk about. Everybody's got different life experiences and things like that. And I'd love to get to know anybody, and just have a good conversation with them. So let me know in comments, DMs on any of my social medias. They're all linked in the bottoms of these videos. If you'd like to do a podcast, doesn't matter if you're a viewer, friend, anything, just hit me up and we'll set something up for sure. But yeah, lately, like I said in the beginning of this video, I wanted to touch on PC gaming and PC building. Gaming is something that's kind of, these podcasts they've been around, a lot of conversation in them. Being that I stream, I love gaming and stuff like that. I love creating gaming content, so it's a big part of my life. So that's why I touch on this so much. But as of recently, I've been having a lot of people hit me up for information on PC builds that they have thrown together. People that have never built PCs or anything like that, looking for some information from me or looking for me to build them, because I have built PCs for people in the past. Not like something I do like full time or regularly, but every now and then someone will hit me up, a friend or a friend of a friend that knows I'm pretty good with PCs and build PCs. And people have been hitting me up a lot lately for information on parts to get, how their builds look, if I want to build it for them. And my answer always is, sure, I'd love to build it for you. I love building computers, but the reality right now of building computers or switching from console to PC is that it's honestly next to impossible to do for basically one reason only, and that is the shortage and the price gouging of graphics cards right now. If you don't know, this happened about 3-ish years ago, 4-ish years ago, when I first switched to PC, and that is that crypto mining was getting huge again, and people were buying up the GPUs for all their mining rigs, and which left no stock for gamers realistically. I mean, as a gamer, you're using one GPU, you're not buying tons of GPUs, whereas for crypto miners and stuff, I mean, if you look into it, you could see like how many freaking rigs, the rigs these guys set up with, 10 to 20 GPUs at a time, buying them up and using them for mining. And it leaves like PC gamers at a disadvantage because you just cannot get a GPU. And it kind of evened out over the last like 3.5 years. It was kind of normal. There was supply for the most part everywhere. And, if you wanted a graphics card, you could basically get, is what I'm saying. Maybe you had to order it online. It's always been kind of difficult to secure a graphics card. And if you don't know what a graphics card is what displays your picture on your monitor from your PC. That's how your graphics are displayed to your monitor. There's all different levels of graphics cards, and basically the more expensive the graphics card, look at it this way, is the better performance and the more frames that you're going to be able to play in your games, the better graphics you're going to have. So basically, just thinking of it that way, it's basically simple. I don't need to go into models because I mean, there's tons of different models of GPUs. Your biggest brands being NVIDIA and then AMD pretty much, but NVIDIA is pretty much dominant in this world of graphics card for the most part, in my opinion. I mean, AMD does make graphics cards as well, but it just seems to me in most cases, everybody I know or speak to, for the most part, NVIDIA is the most popular, and they are like they're the big guys in this marketplace. But like I said, better graphics cards, better performance, better graphics. Anyways, with that being said, now we said what a graphics card is. Right now, you literally cannot secure one. Like, they're sold out everywhere. If you were looking to get a 3070, 3090, 3060s just dropped, these are the models I'm talking about. RTX 3060s, 3070s, 3080s, 3090s being the best one right now and most desired one right now. And you can't touch them. They're sold out everywhere. If they go in stock, people are buying them instantly. They're getting botted now like sneakers. The GPUs are literally being botted now like sneakers. Like, you can go buy a GPU on StockX right now for an absurd amount of money. Like, I was just looking at StockX prices just for GPUs. Not being, I mean, I didn't really think to go to StockX for GPUs, but now, StockX was created for sneaker reselling, clothing reselling, like Supreme and like high-end clothing. It's becoming the same thing with GPUs. Basically, people are buying them up and just reselling them. And like, for instance, I'm pretty sure a 3080s retail price, like MSRP when they're in stock in the stores, is like $700. It's like $699. Right now, they're selling consistently all day long. You could look at the price. You could look at the price they're selling for, how often they're selling for, and the dates and times and everything. They're selling all day, like every day, all day throughout the day for like $1,450, like $1,400 to like $1,500 consistently. So that's a huge price markup. That's like $600-$700 price markup. And, for somebody looking to build their first PC, they're not looking to spend that much money. Like, most people who are coming in to build their PC, in most cases that I know, you're looking to spend an average of like $1,000 to build your first entry level PC. I mean, unless you're you're willing to spend a lot of money, because the reality of it, PC gaming is expensive. It's expensive to get into. It's expensive to transition to. But once you make the switch, there's so many more benefits to it than owning a console and playing on a console. When I first built my first PC like 5 years ago, I think I had a budget of $800, and back then I built a pretty solid PC. Like, I mean, as far as specs goes, if you guys know specs, for the people that don't know specs, you can kind of just block this out. I'm not going to stand on for too long, but for people that do know specs, I think my first PC I bought was like a Ryzen, like, was it a 5? I don't know if it was a Ryzen 5, like 1600, I think, just a regular 1600. It had like 16 gigabytes of RAM. I ended up getting a 1050 Ti for it, and a basic SSD, a hard drive. It was just a basic build. I built it for $800. Like, right now, honestly, you couldn't even touch that build for like under $1,300. Like, I priced some stuff out for some people, and it's just literally impossible with the price market right now. Like, it's literally impossible. Like, you can't really build a gaming PC for $1,000 right now because of the GPU price gouge. Like, your GPU, your graphics card is like when you're building a gaming PC, that's like 80% of your computer. Like, that's where you're putting most of your money into, because you want the best graphics for your PC to play these games, and you can't touch them. So it's just like, right now, like, honestly, right now, I price some things out for people who hit me up, and for the first time ever, I'm recommending people to go with a pre-built PC for the first time ever. Which is pretty bizarre to me, because for me, I really enjoy building computers. I mean, I'm a very hands-on person. Like, I'm into cars, been into cars, worked on cars, and that's honestly when I built my first PC. It was like building my cars. Like, literally, you change stuff up, you improve things, you upgrade things on your car, and it works the same way with PCs. Once you have a blueprint, a base ground PC, you can always keep upgrading these things, which is the benefit to not buying a console. Because you're buying a console, say a new console comes out every 5 years. Every 5 years, you're buying a new console for, I don't know, what does a PS4 go for now? I think like retail's like $500, right? That's not resale. That's another thing. PS4s and stuff are selling for $1,000. I haven't checked in a while. This is around Christmas time. They're selling for over $1,000 resale value. But with a PC, say prices came down in GPUs and it was the right time to build again. Until you build something for $1,000 to $1,200. That's a fairly decent budget. You're not going to get the best thing in the world, but you'll have a great baseline PC. And when you have extra money and you want to upgrade parts, you can just upgrade individual parts to make the PC better. You don't have to restart. Like, it's not a useless piece of a thing on your shelf, like a console that collects dust once the new one comes out and it's done and over with. And also you can do tons of other stuff. You can literally you can work on your computer, you can edit videos, you can go to school, you can do endless thing with your computer. Just it's not just for gaming is what I'm trying to say. It's an investment into yourself that can open up doors for other things. Working from home, it's just endless. You get what I'm saying. It's a better investment than buying these consoles every 5 years, is what my argument is to people that are buying these new consoles. I understand people just, they like the console life and that's what it is for certain things. And it is what it is. It's fine. But as far as if you're looking to make an investment in yourself, if you're a big gamer but you also like you're in school, you're in college, or you work from home or things like that, a PC is just the way to go because it could do it all for you. That's basically what I'm trying to say here. Because people are like, "Oh, should I buy a PC, the PS5 right now?" I think I said PS4 before. I meant PS5 and like Xbox, the new Xboxes. That's what we're talking about here. And it's like, sure, you could, and you could spend probably almost $1,000 on the resale value, but if you wanted to, you could also probably swing together a PC somehow for that price, which is going to be better in the long run for you. But I mean, even right now, that's out of the window with these prices. You really can't, like, honestly buy a console if you're thinking about buying a console or building a PC, because you're not going to be you can't build the PC right now is what I'm trying to say, and it's so unfortunate. But back to the pre-built topic, like I priced out a computer for somebody that was looking to build a computer. They hit me up, they're like, "Hey, give me a parts list and that." I said, "Okay." I sat down, I used PC Part Picker to get an idea of a general price point and how much these parts are going to cost. And I literally sat there for like 20 minutes. I couldn't get a GPU. I couldn't get a GPU on the parts list because everything was sold out. Like you literally go on PC Part Picker, every GPU is sold out. And even the lower and older ones are either sold out or they're just price gouged so high because that's all they have. So even these regular companies are knocking their prices up because they can, because people are going to buy them, but at a crazy amount of price. Like you're buying these things for what they're not even close to valued for. They're so upsold right now. It's crazy. So right now, if you are really, really, really serious about getting into PC gaming, and you have to do it, and you just can't wait another year, maybe year and a half, or however long this takes for these prices to come back down and inventory stock of GPUs to go back up, your best bet is going with a pre-built from like NZXT build. It's just plain and simple. Like I priced it out for somebody. The standard, I'll pull it up for you right now. The standard PC from, like, they have different levels. They have like a basic entry level PC, which is like maybe like $600, something like that. Then they have like a standard, the middle package, which is like, it's like, it works out to probably be like $900 with taxes and everything. And then they have like a higher MPC, which is up in the thousands, like 1500. Let me pull it up for you guys and see if I can just get it up real quick and just show you guys what I'm talking about. But this is the best possible option for somebody who is very serious about getting into PCs right now. I think I'm going to make a whole separate video on this on my YouTube channel, because I could dive into this a little bit right now. But like if you come over here, let me display the screen for you. Sorry, one sec, guys. Come on. Display. So we got NZXT. This is NZXT build. They're a great company, super, super, super dope company. I'm not a big pre-build guy because I like to build things myself, but with the price point right now, you can't okay, so this is a bad example to show you guys right now because it's sold out. Earlier in the week, this wasn't sold out. But to build this exact PC, I looked up the specs that were in this thing and everything, and it was costing $300 more than what they were selling it for if you were to build it yourself. So, I mean, you're saving yourself $300 to get this PC. And the other thing is, they have the GPUs to give you. You don't have to worry about securing it yourself. Like, you literally cannot go buy the GPU. I don't know. I've said it 1,000 times. Like, you just can't. If you're looking to get a PC right now to game on, your best bet is a pre-built. Like, it just is. But unfortunately, it looks like they're completely sold out because they're facing the same problem as the builders, like people who build their PCs like me. They cannot get the GPUs, and that's exactly what it's going to be. They just don't have the parts anymore, along with a lot of other people. So unfortunately, kind of contradicting myself here, but at the beginning of this week when I was talking about this was the best option. There are other companies you can go through for pre-builds. In my opinion, this is the best company to go through. But I mean, as of right now, it doesn't even look like you could do that. But that was kind of just that I wanted to share with you guys. As far as entering the PC game world, it's like it's unfortunately impossible. As you could just see, like you can't even buy a pre-built. I didn't know that until, like I said, at the beginning of this week. You could have bought that pre-built, but it's that, I guess that ship has sailed, and I don't know when you'll be able to again. But I'm still going to stand with what I said with buying a pre-built is the best possible option right now with the market. If you price out the specs in that standard PC, you're spending. I went on PC Part Picker and I built it myself, and it was probably around $300-$350 more than what they were selling it for. So in my opinion, don't switch to PC right now. I know it sucks because a lot of people want the benefits of switching to PC, but unfortunately, it's not a good time. Unless you're willing to spend a lot of money and buy a GPU on StockX or from somebody that you know reselling it for an absurd amount of money, it is literally impossible. So that kind of covers everything as far as building a PC right now. You just physically cannot do it. It's super unfortunate, but it's like there's no really other conversation to be had. If the parts are not there to buy, you can't build the computer, you know what I mean? And that's basically what it's boiling down to now. But as far as like the benefits of switching to PC, I kind of got into it a little bit a couple minutes ago about basically as far as it's like an investment for yourself, and it's an investment for other things rather than just gaming. People think building a PC right now is only, you're just building a PC to just game. Computers weren't made to just game on. They're made to do work on. And basically switching to PC, like I said, you're able to do more than just buy a console just to play video games on, which is, a $500 investment for the average person. I mean, it's a little bit of money, I can understand. And that thing is obsolete. A console's obsolete in 5 years, if that. And then it just sits and does nothing. Where, like I said, with the PC, the benefit is that it doesn't stop. Like, you can keep upgrading that PC for literally probably ever. I mean, a PC, if you handle it the right way, take care of it, make sure you're running your proper, security programs as far as viruses and components and things like that, keeping the computer just up to date and clean. Like, that thing's going to run for necessarily ever, realistically, 10, 15 plus years, if you really wanted to, before it's going to become obsolete and you have to upgrade those things. I mean, if you're really into PCs like me, you're upgrading stuff more frequently than that, just because you're like someone like me, you become an enthusiast, and then you want to get a better CPU, you want to get the better GPU, and you just upgrade things. But you could sell those things that you take out of the computer. You know what I mean? Like, you could sell the old parts to somebody who's just entering the PC world, and they want to, they want to go the budget route and pick up somebody else's used component. Like, that's how it works. You know what I mean? It's not like a console where you're buying it for $500 and then 5 years down the road you're selling it for $100 on Facebook Marketplace. It's not like that with PCs, which is why I strongly recommend, if you can and the time is right, not right now, once the prices go back, if you're thinking about getting a new console or you're thinking about switching to PC gaming, do it, because there's so many other benefits than just gaming on it, is what I'm trying to say. So that's kind of my take on PC gaming. There is more things to dive into. Like, there's the benefits. Like, if you were really like, I don't know if people are interested in me getting into like keyboard and mouse versus controller and stuff like that. That's maybe something that's for like a separate video, because that's something it's a deep diving into like PC versus like controller versus keyboard and mouse. That's a deep dive. Don't really want to bore people who don't want to watch that stuff in this podcast. But I think now we're going to make the transition into like the car scene and car culture stuff, get away from the PC gaming stuff. I think I dove enough into that. Just to wrap up, like I said, it's not the right time to enter the PC gaming world. It's just not. Unless you have a plug somehow and you can get a GPU at a retail price, then by all means, it's a great time. But it's unfortunate that you can't right now, unless someone's buying up these GPUs and hauling them, and it's your best friend. He's not going to sell no one's selling them for retail. You know what I mean? They're not going to sell them for retail. They're going to make the money that they want to make because they're selling for that much. So right now, not a good time to enter the PC gaming world. And as I just stated, my reasons why. And if you have any other questions, reach out to me, shoot me a DM. Always welcome to help people out with building PCs or information or my opinions on things. Once you build your first PC, you become the PC guy that everyone goes to be honest. All my friends hit me up for recommendations and help. People, friends of friends, family members, and things like that, always looking for help. It's just what happens. You become their tech guy for life. But enough of that. I kind of want to dive into car culture now.